Hey guys, what's going on? Jeff here from Films at Home. A lot of people have been asking me to show off an update to my 4K Blu-ray collection. I did a video, God, probably a year ago now, and since then, obviously, I've gotten a ton of new 4K movies. You guys have seen a lot of the reviews, but you haven't seen everything I got. So today, we're just gonna go through every 4K that I own in my collection. I probably have 100, 150 of them. I'll talk a little bit about each one, but I really just want to show off what I've got and run through them real quick. So let's just jump straight into it. All right, so here's the main shelf. All that stuff up top is horror. Then I start some 4Ks here. And I got 4Ks lining pretty much the whole bottom here, and I got some odd ones. I'm running out of room again. It's pretty crazy. I got some more 4Ks over on the other side of the room that I'll show you too, but we'll jump right into these first. I've got Bad Santa 2, which is garbage. I've got John Wick, which is awesome on 4K. Actually, just take these down as I go, I guess. Also got Baby Driver, really good movie. Kevin Spacey's kind of creepy in it now, but solid movie. Great 4K disc. Resident Evil Afterlife. The first Fantastic Beasts movie, which is a pretty good 4K. There's some really good colors in this. Then I have Inferno, which is in that Da Vinci Code trilogy with Tom Hanks. Also have 10 Cloverfield Lane. And I've got the Jack Ryan 5-film collection. This has Jack Ryan's Shadow Recruit, which is the newest one, Sum of All Fears, Clear and Present Danger, Patriot Games, and The Hunt for Red October. I reviewed this. I thought this was a really good set. So I would recommend grabbing that, especially since you get 5 4K movies for a pretty good price. So those are some of the odd ones up there. Then starting down here, first one I have the Deadpool 2 Super Duper Cut. This was a Target exclusive. Comes with a kid's book, which is pretty funny. Got Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I don't think I ever completed the Harry Potter collection. Kong Skull Island. This is a weird one. Hurricane Heist, from the director of the original Fast and Furious, but I don't know many people that have heard of that movie. Interstellar, which is an incredible 4K. Lots of great scenes in that one. I guess I'll pull these three out together, but I've got Transformers Dark of the Moon, Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, and Transformers Age of Extinction. The Transformer movies, they're actually pretty solid 4K discs. And yes, before people start to flip out, no, these aren't in alphabetical order. I just keep all my 4K discs together right now. I haven't alphabetized them, but that's something I'll probably do at some point. I got Atomic Blonde, which is like kind of a female John Wick, pretty cool movie. The Dark Knight. Also have Batman Begins, and The Dark Knight Rises in here somewhere. It's weird that it's not together. Pulled this one off the top here, 2001: A Space Odyssey. Probably the best 4K disc that's been released to date. Really amazing transfer on that. Sorry, then we got American Made with Tom Cruise, which is actually a pretty cool movie. Let's see. Oh god, doing this with one hand is hard. Terminator 2 Judgment Day, one of my most disappointing 4K discs. I reviewed this. Wasn't a fan of it. Move this guy over here for now, because you're in the way. Oh, I also have the original Transformers here. Forgot about that. 3:10 to Yuma. That's a pretty good movie. I've also got Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and Rise of the Planet of the Apes, but I don't believe that I have War for the Planet of the Apes, which is kind of funny. I just never got it on 4K. We got Red 2, which is one of the Lionsgate titles, which I'm not very fond of. They kind of just pumped a bunch of these out. 20th Anniversary Starship Troopers is a really good one. This is the first animated one, Secret Life of Pets. Animation looks really great with HDR, but the 4K resolution doesn't do much for it. Jack Reacher, Never Go Back, another Tom Cruise movie. Ben Affleck and the Accountant. I actually like this movie. I think it's probably a little underrated. I thought it was pretty good. It's not great, but it's a fun action movie. Kingsman: The Golden Circle, which is not as good as the first one, but still a lot of fun. Puppet Master: The Littlest Reich, which is an insane movie. I did review this one, and it has Thomas Lennon in it, who is from, yep, there he is, from Reno 911, which is pretty funny. Maybe one of the worst movies in my collection, 50 Shades Freed, but as you can see, got a sliced book barcode, so that's one that Universal sent me for review. Also have Annihilation, which is pretty cool, only at Best Buy 4K. Paramount actually sent this to me for a review, which is cool because usually you don't get retailer exclusives. But this is a funny one because it's not a steelbook, it's nothing. It's just, you know, that the only way you could get the 4K disc was at Best Buy, which is something I never seen before. It'd be like saying the only way you can get a Blu-ray is by going to, you know, Walmart and everyone else has DVDs. It's kind of weird. Mission Impossible Fallout, another Tom Cruise movie, and one of my top 10 4Ks for the year. That's an awesome, awesome movie, an awesome 4K disc. Also have Jack Reacher, another Tom Cruise. The original Cloverfield. Another animated one here, Batman Gotham by Gaslight. This one's pretty cool with the HDR because it's darker and just, you know, blacks and grays really stand out. Pitch Perfect 3. Also have Rampage, which is a pretty fun movie, but it looks good in 4K. Skyscraper, another Dwayne Johnson movie, also looks pretty good in 4K. A Quiet Place, which also looked great in 4K, mostly because of the HDR again and the darker scenes that, you know, really stand out. Especially, I should mention, the scene where all the lights turn red and it's nighttime, and I'm not going to spoil why, but wow, does that look good in 4K. I have Ocean's 8, the new all-female sequel. Saving Private Ryan, which had excellent audio, made my top 10 list for the year. Smurfs, which is not very good, but I got it for review. It's in my collection. Then I have Joy. I actually believe this is the first 4K disc that I was ever sent for review. I know 20th Century Fox sent me this way back in the day when I was still working on a website. I didn't have YouTube, I didn't have Instagram. They sent this, so that was really cool. So that one's kind of sentimental, I guess. I have Sing, another good animated movie that looks great in 4K. 50 Shades Darker, which, again, slashed barcode. I didn't buy this. They gave it to me, I swear. Terminator Genesis, which is kind of a cheaper Lionsgate title and not a very good movie, but was sent to me for review. Also have John Wick 2, which looks awesome and is still, it's going to be my favorite action trilogy when it comes all, you know, full circle. And John Wick 3, if you saw the trailer for John Wick 3, amazing. Jason Bourne, that's the new Bourne movie, Matt Damon. I have Love, Simon, which is a lot of people really liked this past year. Haven't had a chance to actually watch that yet, but I've heard good things. Oops. Mission Impossible 2, I believe I have the whole Mission Impossible set in here. It's just mixed in. I've got the Expendables 2 and the Expendables. Again, those are kind of cheap Lionsgate titles, so they don't look very good. Alien Covenant, which was a disappointment because I actually liked Prometheus, and this didn't really do much for me. Mission Impossible 3, another Tom Cruise movie. And then we've got Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. Is this what I think it is? Yes. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. So it's kind of funny. I have like the Half-Blood Prince, Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2, because those came out first before the newer Harry Potter movies, and I can't remember if I got any of the other ones, but I should probably finish that collection at some point. So yeah, let's jump into that bottom row now. All right, going through the bottom row. Leon the Professional, awesome, awesome movie. Great 4K disc. Another awesome movie with a great 4K, La La Land. Personally think it got robbed of Best Picture. Mission Impossible, the original, that's the first movie. This is pretty cool. This is Journey to Space, which is a 4K and 3D and Blu-ray combo pack, and it's an IMAX documentary, pretty much. So that's a cool one. Tomb Raider, The Cradle of Life, decent 4K on that. Hitman Agent 47, still sealed. I haven't even cracked this one open yet. I actually think I got that for free. Downsizing, which I did not hear good things about. Great 4K disc here is Blade Runner 2049. Awesome movie, incredible 4K. Really, really good stuff. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. This was my best picture choice last year, and now I can't remember what won, but I don't think this won, and I thought it should have. Wow, I can't remember who won last year. That tells you how much it matters. We got Grease, which is one of the best 4K transfers of an older movie that I've ever seen. If you have a Blu-ray of Grease and you compare it to this, the new transfer is absolutely incredible. Then we got Murder on the Orient Express, which is kind of a fun movie. Nice 4K, I thought. Lego Batman movie, which looked awesome in 4K, sounded awesome, and was actually really funny. I'm a huge Batman fan, so that movie kicked ass. Underrated here, in my opinion, Mother on 4K. I really liked this. Some people hate it. Some people really like it. I thought it was really interesting, and I liked it a lot. It was right up there with, you know, it's a movie like, you know, Hereditary or something you're going to hate or you're going to love. I loved it. I thought it was great. And we have Hostels. This is a newer Christian Bale movie that really didn't get too much attention considering it's Christian Bale. We have Why Him, James Franco, Bryan Cranston comedy. It's, you know, pretty funny if you're just looking for something stupid. Ready Player One. This is an awesome 4K disc, and I really liked the movie as well. Another awesome 4K disc, Mad Max Fury Road. This is actually one of my favorite movies of all time, and I always forget when people ask me what are your favorite movies, but this is really incredible. I have the 4K, I have the black and white edition, I have the Steelbook. That's probably the movie I own the most versions of, and I don't really do that too often. Also Blade Runner The Final Cut 35th Anniversary Edition on 4K. That's a really, really nice 4K disc. I have Life, which is sort of like a, what did it rip off? I can't remember. It's sort of just like a rip off of Alien, I guess. Pretty similar stuff, but the cast is really good. Jake Gyllenhaal, Ryan Reynolds. Pretty good movie. Fury, which is awesome from an audio standpoint. And the visuals, I remember watching this on Blu-ray, and some of the darker scenes were really hard to see what was going on. So the 4K really helped with that. Then I have Arizona, which is kind of a weird Dan McBride, Luke Wilson, Rosemary DeWitt movie from his producers on Eastbound and Down and Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Goofy comedy, but I wasn't really a fan myself. Van Wilder, which is a classic. Ryan Reynolds is hilarious in this. Doesn't need a 4K disc. No, probably not, but I got it for free, so I'm going to take it. Allied, Brad Pitt, Marion Cotillard. Actually a pretty good movie. I think it's underrated. 4K was just all right, but the movie itself, I think, deserved more praise. Justice League. Some people hate this. I thought it was fine. It's not like incredible, but I thought it was pretty good. It was entertaining at least, and it does have a nice 4K disc. Oh, see, these are all mixed up. Here's the first Tomb Raider. You saw the second one over there. This is the original Tomb Raider. One of my favorite superhero movies, Logan, and this is an awesome set. It's a 4-disc set. Comes with Logan Noir, which is the black and white version. Also has theatrical version, Blu-ray. It's a really, really nice 4-disc set. Then I have The Commuter, which is Taken on a Train, which is what I call anything with Liam Neeson now. Also have Across the Universe. If you haven't seen this, I don't like musicals, but it's one of the few that I actually really enjoy. It has a Dolby Atmos track, which is awesome, and some really great visuals that pop in 4K. Also have Hacksaw Ridge, which is one of the best war movies I've ever seen. Highly, highly recommend this, and it's an awesome, awesome 4K disc. Outside of 2001: A Space Odyssey, Planet Earth 2 is probably the best 4K disc available, just because it was, you know, shot in that resolution, and, you know, they did a good job with the transfer. Planet Earth, the original, was one of the best Blu-rays to ever come out, and so it's no surprise that the follow-up would be one of the best 4Ks. I have Song to Song. This is a Terrence Malick film who's just a guy who people, I guess you either really love him or you absolutely don't get what he's trying to do. I didn't get this one. And look at the cast. Michael Fassbender, Ryan Gosling, Rooney Mara. Natalie Portman. It just didn't, I don't know, didn't make any sense. Got some movies on top here. We'll move. Sorry for the shaky camera. I'm trying to keep it down. The Shape of Water. That's what won Best Picture. Now I remember. There's the 4K disc for that. Daddy's Home 2, which is actually pretty funny with Mel Gibson and John Lithgow. Braveheart, which is an awesome 4K. It made my list for top from the first half of 2018. Then I've got Mission Impossible 5, that's Rogue Nation. And Mission Impossible 4, Ghost Protocol. So I do have every Mission Impossible movie on 4K. Then we got Underworld, Kate Beckinsale. That's kind of a classic action movie. Triple X, The Return of Xander Cage. Nobody asked for your return, and it wasn't good. Another animated movie, Despicable Me 3, which does look pretty good in 4K. Dunkirk, which again is, I think, underrated as a war movie. I thought it was really good, and it has a nice 4K disc as well. The transfer is really solid on that one. Another one that's underrated is Passengers, and this is a cool set because it is, again, a 4K, 3D, and Blu-ray. Really thick package compared to the other movies, but really pretty good stuff. Ghost in the Shell, disappointing. Didn't really get it. I'm not a big fan of anime type stuff though, so maybe it just wasn't for me. Deepwater Horizon, awesome 4K, really good HDR. Huntsman, Winter's War, I don't think anybody really asked for this, and it wasn't very good. And the transfer wasn't either. Warcraft, another movie I don't know that anyone was really asking for, and doesn't have a great 4K transfer. And along those same lines, The Legend of Hercules, another movie I don't think anybody really cared about and doesn't have a great transfer. Lionsgate just doesn't do a great job with some of their movies. Brawl in Cell Block 99, this is really good. If you like Bone Tomahawk, this is the same writer and director, and Vince Vaughn is just insane in that movie. Then we get Evil Dead 2, which was a very good 4K disc for a horror movie. I was pleasantly surprised. They did a good job with the transfer. Warrior, another cheap 4K title from Lionsgate. Not a fan. Good movie, though. Not a great 4K. This is pretty cool. This says Dolby Atmos, Dolby Vision. I believe this is one of the first Dolby Vision discs, was Resident Evil Vendetta. But it's pretty cool. It's an animated version of Resident Evil. We got The Fifth Element, which has a true 4K transfer. There was a 4K mastered Blu-ray from Sony, and then they put out the real 4K. Then I've got Conan, Barbarian, another cheap, that's not the Schwarzenegger one, that's the new one, another cheap Lionsgate disc. Kick-Ass is another cheap Lionsgate disc, but this one actually looked pretty good, and I love the movie. Same here with Dread. The 4K looked really good, and the HDR was a definite improvement. But I'm kind of upset they didn't put the 3D Blu-ray with this, because that's how Dread was sold originally, and then just didn't come with the 4K. Baywatch Extended Cut. Actually some pretty funny moments. A lot of people trashed it, but I like the combo of The Rock and Dwayne Johnson and Zac Efron. Inception, really good 4K disc. Obviously, got to have the Christopher Nolan collection in your 4K collection. Oh, there it is. There's The Dark Knight Rises. So I do have the whole Dark Knight trilogy from Christopher Nolan. Oh, then I have Red. So you saw Red 2 earlier. Here's the first. It's funny, I don't even know what I have sometimes. Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk. This is an interesting one because of this right here. Most hyper-real, lifelike picture, because they did 60 frames per second, which looks really different. It's you probably see a lot of it on YouTube and stuff, but like you don't see it in movies. There's a reason why movies are shot at a certain frame per second. It's what people are used to, and that's an interesting choice by Ang Lee. Patriots Day. This is basically Mark Wahlberg Saves Boston. If I'm from Boston, I remember this very vividly. There wasn't one guy like Mark Wahlberg who just was everywhere. He kind of plays like 7 or 8 different people almost, and it's not very true to the story, although there is a couple great scenes, but it's too much Mark Wahlberg. I have The Birth of a Nation, which was hyped coming out of Sundance a few years ago, and then sort of lost all its hype before the Oscars. I do have The Order of the Phoenix, Harry Potter. It, which was awesome and has a really nice 4K transfer. Cabin in the Woods, awesome movie, not a great 4K disc, another cheap Lionsgate title, which I didn't care for much. Ex Machina, I believe this is the only A24 4K disc that has come out. I could be wrong, but I think it is, and this was actually a really good release, and I love the movie. I've got The Fate of the Furious, Fast and Furious 8, which is a lot of fun in 4K. I have Arrival, which is a great movie and also a great 4K disc. Same for Gladiator, great 4K disc, great movie, one you definitely want to have. And I've got The Hitman's Bodyguard. This was actually really funny and actually really good. Ryan Reynolds and Samuel Jackson. Gary Oldman was awesome in it. Salma Hayek was really funny. And then the last one for these shelves is Forrest Gump, which has a pretty decent 4K transfer. I'm just not sure how good it is compared to the Blu-ray. Like, is it really worth the investment? But awesome movie, and I'm glad I have it in 4K. So that's it for that shelf. That's like all these movies and all these in the bottom, plus these guys up here. I got a few more on the other side that we're going to go look at. All right, over here on the other side of the room, lighting is not as good. What is this? Strangers Pray at Night CD. Okay, interesting. I got some new ones just came in. I have The Hate You Give, so I'm going to check that one out in 4K. Also have Goosebumps 2 in 4K. And then you saw my review for First Man and also Halloween. So those are the new ones I just got in. And a lot of new movies I get in end up over here until I sort through them. So that's why there's 4K titles over here, including the Matrix trilogy. I had the Matrix in 4K. I traded it in, I believe, or I did a giveaway, one of the two, because I got the box set. I have Superman the movie, also have Justice League Throne of Atlantis, which is pretty cool. Something that's not pretty cool, Twilight, just a bad movie. Spy Who Dumped Me, if you like the cast, you might like this, but it's not a very good 4K disc. It's not one you really need to have. Going through here, I don't see any 4Ks. Oh, here's a couple. So these are really cool. This is Journey to the South Pacific and Night School. Journey to the South Pacific and A Beautiful Planet. Both IMAX enhanced 4K discs. They were both IMAX movies. You'd see it like near Museum of Science or whatever, but they look incredible. Also, like I said, Night School, 4K. Solo in 4K. That actually needs to go over with my Star Wars movies. I got Jigsaw in 4K, which was a Christmas gift. Also, Sicario, Day of the Soldado. That's Sicario 2. That was also a Christmas gift. So I got some good 4K stuff for Christmas. That just will not go in there. Including Ant-Man vs. Wasp with the lenticular slipcover, which is really, really nice. Happy to have that one. Wow, these shelves won't cooperate with me. The First Purge. And anything else in 4K? We'll put Jigsaw back in there. Let's see, do I have 4K down here? I do have a couple. We got Red Sparrow. We also have the new Tomb Raider with Alicia Vikander. And any more 4K discs? Sorry, it's getting hard to see, but I don't think so. So, unless I have any over here in this corner, and I don't believe I do, those are all of my 4K discs I finished up here on this shelf. So, that's what I got. Long video, but always good to update people on what I have, and, you know, hopefully you get some ideas for new pickups, or you take something away from this video. But that's where I'm at right now, and you know, we're still collecting. So you know, look at this shelf's almost full. This is my last shelf. I gotta go buy more. It's getting crazy. All right, guys, so that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. A few people had asked for this type of video. They wanted an update to my whole 4K collection, so here it is. That's all my 4K titles. It's a big chunk of my collection now, and as I've been getting 4Ks in, I'm trading in some Blu-rays, then I can get more store credit to buy more movies that I don't own. I don't like to keep duplicates. Like I said, Mad Max, Fury Road, I think I have 3 copies of, and that's the most copies I have of any movie. I have 2 copies of Halloween. I'm keeping my Blu-ray and my 4K. 3 copies of Mad Max, but I don't go crazy. You know, I just don't collect duplicates. So if I get a 4K, the Blu-ray's gone. Traded it in. I'll keep the 4K disc. They come with a Blu-ray anyway if I ever need to watch it on a Blu-ray player. And then I get some cash back to go buy more movies. So for me, no reason to keep all of them. Free up some space, get some trade-in money. It's all good. So yeah, hopefully you liked this. Please remember to follow me on Instagram. That's a great place to stay up to date with any new movies I get, any new content, anything that's going on in my life. It's going to be on Instagram. So follow me there. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you keep getting updates on videos like this, and you can always stay up to date with what I'm doing. If you can turn notifications on, that'll let you know when a new video goes up, because I am a little sporadic. That's just the way my videos are going to be. I do them when I get time. I don't really have a schedule, so if you turn on notifications, you won't miss any. And again, congrats to Nate N, who won the Halloween Blu-ray giveaway in my last video. His copy will be shipping out pretty soon, and hopefully he enjoys that, but hopefully you guys all liked that giveaway. I thought it was pretty cool to give away a brand new, pretty high profile movie, so we'll be doing more of that soon. I got some good ones coming up, so stay tuned for that. But congrats to Nate N. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.